If you have a weak stomach, this is not for you. It's pretty gross. So, what's up, everybody? Tobin here. Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to show y'all a super simple, super easy, super hands-off way to do a European mount on a whitetail. So before we get started, I want to give y'all a little bit of an update in the shop. It's been a long time since we've done a long format video. We've been posting a lot of shorts, but don't do many long videos anymore. But so I want to take a minute and give y'all an update. Shanna's been cranking out shoulder mounts. This one needs to be painted. It's real pretty dough. And this wall was loaded with deer last week. We had a bunch of them picked up. All these are ready to be picked up. That one's has a eye problem she's working on. That one's about ready to be painted. And then all these forms are all we have left, all she has left for this year. That's a big old mule deer right there. Big old local deer. We got been making some small improvements on the shop. We got some area right here to put merch. Got some new hats. And then got a new desk, check-in area. So yeah, we're getting ready for 2025 deer season. Spent some time today on the computer, ordering, making new business cards and placing the order on those and on some other tags that we use and stuff like that. So getting ready, it'll be here before you know it. So figured I'd get this video out before deer season in case it might help somebody. So here's what we got. This is a really nice Texas deer, really nice Texas deer. Brought to us. Had the cape on it, but it was freezer burnt. It's been in the freezer for a little while. So, yeah, since last season. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a maceration process on this deer. And this time of year, when we only get in a few at a time, it's really easy for me to do them and be hands off on them. And quite honestly, if I had the setup to do it, I would macerate everything. Maceration, in my opinion, is by far the best process to use. So I would say maceration's 1, boiling, simmering would be 2, and a very distant third would be beetles. So I've got some videos out there on my opinions on the different processes, but if y'all are interested, y'all can watch those. Check out our taxidermy playlist. But this process, in my opinion, pulls out a lot of grease. And it's very hands-off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skin it, and I'm going to put it in a bucket of water, and I'm going to let Mother Nature do her thing. So if y'all don't know what maceration is, it's basically putting the head in water and letting bacteria break down the flesh over time. You can do it accelerated with a fish tank heater, or I've shown on other videos, I have a maceration tank that I have. It's a deep freeze that I put it's not working. I put a light in there to generate heat, put the buckets in there with deer, pigs, whatever, and it's an accelerated way to macerate them. But we're gonna be up over 100 probably pretty much every day in the next few weeks. So I'm not even gonna put it in the tank. I'm gonna throw it in my little shed outside, and it'll take a week or two and it'll be done. A lot of people are gonna ask, do you put soap in the water? Do you put chemicals in the water? Do you put any of that stuff in the water?
No.
Why?
Not for this part.
Why?
Well, I don't know the why. I think that when you go to like after it's all over with and you put it in water, it probably wouldn't help to put some soap in it. But right now for this process, you don't because
you don't want to kill the bacteria.
You don't want to kill the bacteria. That's why.
The bacteria is what breaks down. Some people will say, "Well, when I do a macerate, I'll change the water out every day." And some people will say that it goes faster that way. Well, it doesn't because you're killing the bacteria. I mean, it's anecdotal, but like maybe for some people that is their experience. My experience is the nastier that water gets, the more bacteria is in it, the faster it breaks down everything. So I don't change the water. I don't add any kind of soap or chemicals or anything to it. I just put straight water in there, tap water. Try not to get it up above the burrs any more than you have to, but it's also going to you're going to lose water just from what would it be, babe?
Evaporation.
Yeah, evaporation. So you don't go any higher than you have to, but you want to go high enough that it doesn't go down below the skull. So, all right, enough rambling. I think I covered everything. I'm gonna skin this thing. We're gonna get some water. See y'all here in a minute. All right, y'all, I got this thing done. There's the tools I used, minus the blade off that knife. You can just get the hide off of it and put it in water and you'll be fine. Get the neck off, get the hide off. I would not put it in the water with the hide on. It will take forever for it to break down. That hide, well, not forever, it'll take a long time, but and then you just don't want that neck on there, just that extra meat and stuff. If you do those two things, you can just throw it in there. On this one, I went a little bit above of what I normally do. I pulled the eyeballs out and some of the meat in the back of the head, just to help speed it up a little bit and have a little bit less nastiness when it comes time to pull it out of the bucket. That's the one thing I didn't say at the beginning of this video. If you have a weak stomach, this is not for you. It's pretty gross. So I'm gonna get this thing in some water and then we'll go from there. All right, y'all, got it in a bucket of water. Just got it out here in our taxidermy shed with a few other projects we got going on. Like I said earlier, y'all, if you wanted to speed that up, if you're in a cold environment, cold climate, you could put a fish tank heater in there. They're not very efficient at doing that. The other option, and I've showed this on other videos, I'll give you all a real quick glance at it, is my maceration tank that I use. It's an old stand-up deep freeze, and it's got a light bulb down in there. You can tell it's all rusty and gross. In 30-degree weather, 20-degree weather, I can macerate a head in that thing in 5 days. I'll put all the pigs we do, we macerate all of them, and I save them all up, and I can fit, I don't know, 6 or 7 in there. So, and then occasionally we do like younger whitetails normally, stuff like that in there as well. So, but all right, guys, enough rambling. It's gonna be another, I'd say 2 weeks. I'll check back on it. It'll be done by then for sure, maybe even sooner. And then we'll show you how to whiten it and how to get it finished up. All right, y'all, it's been, I think it's been exactly 1 week. But time flies, I'm not sure, but it's been 6, 8, 9 days, something like that at the longest, but maybe a week at the shortest, since I put that head in that bucket of water. I went and took a sneak peek of it earlier, but I want to show y'all what it looks like. Got a couple other projects to work on, and then Shanna's actually in the shop right now working on the shoulder mount. All right, let's go in here and see how much light we have. All right, so this is our deer right here. He said 6, 7, 10 days, something like that. Wish y'all could smell that. That deer is clean. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get him out. I'm just gonna take him over here in the driveway and just rinse off any, there's still some brain matter in there, little pieces of skin, get him rinsed off, and then we're gonna put him in a pot of water and we're gonna simmer him for a little bit. I'll talk to y'all more about that when we get to that point, but I'm gonna get him over there, rinse him off real quick. So I'm gonna throw this thing in this pot here. I'm gonna fill it up past the burrs with water, and I'm gonna put probably a quarter of this bottle of ivory soap in there. And for this application, I'm gonna probably get it up right at a boil, and then probably back it back down to a pretty hard simmer, you know, just below a boil, just above a simmer, somewhere in that middle, and let it go for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, just trying to further degrease it. I mentioned earlier in the video that you know, this maceration does a lot of degreasing on its own, so
but just going to try to do a little bit more degreasing, and also any more meat or anything that's in there, kind of cook that and get it where it comes off with just hitting it with a water hose. And then, yeah, so I'm going to get it going. Said 30, 45 minutes, keep an eye on it, don't leave it alone, and then we'll go from there. I have had this thing simmering for about 30 minutes or so. As you can tell, I had a deadhead I've had for a little while that was cleaned up too. I threw it in there, but as you can tell, there's some fat and grease and stuff on top of there, so it definitely pulled out some more. So I'm gonna get them out of there, get them cleaned up, and then we'll show y'all how to whiten them.
All right, y'all. My beautiful and talented wife, the brains of the operation, is the one who has kind of developed this whitening process over the years, and so I'm going to turn it over to her so she can explain to y'all, the mixture she uses and kind of that kind of stuff.
So, over the years, I've kind of perfected it. It took me a little bit of time, so y'all get the inside scoop without all the work.
No pun intended.
So, this is the... You
didn't even laugh at my
joke. What did you say?
You said the inside scoop, and I said no pun intended.
Okay, I didn't get that. I've been in this shop all day. Maybe I'm losing my mind. Okay, so this is what I have developed. This is the powder that you find at any of your local beauty stores. This is the lightener. When used with just the cream, it will actually activate the whiteness of everything. So this combination is what you would use if you went to a hairdresser. We have in years past tried the cream alone, and it doesn't work. I'm not saying it won't work. I'm just saying it doesn't work.
It works
very well.
It works, but not at the speed we need it to be done.
So the ratio that I have found is 1 scoop of powder to 2 scoops of cream. I went to Walmart and I bought this scoop about 4 years ago. It's a coffee scoop. I don't even know how much it is. Whatever.
So any mixture would be 2 to 1, essentially.
1 to 2, yes, but in volume, I have found that if you do 1 scoop of this and 2 scoops of that, it will probably whiten about 2 to 3 deer. So, and in general, that's most people want to do 1 to 2 deer, so that's going to be best. I can do 7 deer per mixture that I make during deer season. I can do 7 at a time, and that is a 3 scoops of powder, 6 scoops of whitener. There is apps. I do not sit here and I literally just, well, I don't have to do 3 this time. I went in robot mode.
You don't even need to do 2, do you?
No, I don't. So take that back.
So that's
rewind. Okay, I just rewound for y'all. So it's 1 scoop, and then it's gonna be 2 scoop of the cream. Guys, I don't there's no exact measurement to this. You just kind of put this in there. I keep this spoon. This has been with me for 4 years now. And you just mix it. It's gonna be kind of thin if you let it sit for about 2 to 3 minutes. Less time if you're on a time crunch. It will thicken up a little bit. But I buy the cheap brushes at Harbor Freight that are right here. You can use bigger ones if you want. I find these smaller ones just get in the crevices easier. And then you just whiten the deer. Now this part, all you're gonna do is really just get any surface area that you can see with the whitener. And then if you have sun, that's the best thing. Heat will activate this faster. We have during the winter time when we don't have a lot of sun. We have just put them in the shop and it did its thing, but you obviously can tell the difference when you put it on heat. And then I bought this 4 years ago at the dollar store.
Next year's broke when we bought a new one last year.
Oh, that's right. So this is a condiment dispenser. I put the cream in there by itself. You don't have to add powder to it. And then this part is you lift it upside down and you get down into the nasal cavity. Is that necessary? No. But I like it to be white all the way back to the back of the nose.
Okay. So. And it doesn't whiten it as good as the mixture.
Correct.
But that bottle, with it being the liquid, it gets all the way down in there in all those crevices and gets it white enough.
This also gives you control where you don't have to tape off the horns or anything like that. You just kind of, you can just paint it on there. And I've over the years as we've gotten busier have wanted to find a different method than me having to hand paint every single one. We have done the dip. We have put it in the shoe container. We have dipped it on there. I mean, we've done all that, but this just works. And I've timed myself before when we're in deer season and I'm whitening 40 heads at a time. I can do one head in 2 minutes. So, I mean, essentially it's not that long. But you're going to want to cover all the crevices, get underneath this eye socket. It goes all the way around. Don't worry about this too much because when I put the liquid down in there, I take it and I just get a little shot right there as well. The only thing you got to be careful of is make sure your horns, as you can see, this is all dried, but when you're working with many of them, you tend to get kind of messy. Just watch your horns, make sure your horns don't go into the actual the peroxide. It's not that, or whitener, it's not that big of a deal. If you do, you just want to be very mindful of it because sometimes you have a deer, this one wouldn't be too bad, it's kind of got like grooves and stuff in it. Sometimes you get a slick horn and it's really hard to cover up if you've got a white spot and you're trying to color match it. So make sure you get it all over the burrs. Okay, so this part, you're gonna wanna make sure it's gonna wanna come out this hole right here. So make sure you kind of have it as at an angle, but you're just gonna want to literally just kind of, like I told you, take your right there. And that's it. Now be careful when you go to carry it outside because it will drip everywhere.
As you can tell behind me, we don't have a whole lot of sunlight today, but I'm gonna put this guy here on the table. And y'all may have noticed there's a little bit of discoloration right here. You can see that line where it changes right here. It's the same way on the other side. And then this horn, there was a bucket next to this deer with another deer in it, and this horn got submerged about right here in that other bucket. And so I'm gonna do a little bit of touch up on that as well. So we'll give this dude a couple days, check back and see. Once it's as white as we think we can get it, we will rinse it off, let it dry. And occasionally you'll have one that's stubborn or whatever, and you'll have to go back and redo the process again.
What's up, everybody? All right, so a couple things. I rinsed this head off. I let it whiten for 1 day, 48 hours, or sorry, 24 hours, maybe a little bit longer than 24 hours. Put it out in the sun that evening. I whitened it and then put it back out the next morning, and it is white as can be. It is bone white. I know I told y'all earlier in the video I was going to show y'all how I was going to touch up the horns. Shanna got out here today in the shop, and I don't know if we had a little miscommunication, and she kind of got on autopilot, and she touched them up before I had a chance to video it. So, but as you can tell, you know, there was some discoloration, you know, right here, just from it being in the water. Sometimes you'll have that, sometimes you won't. For whatever reason, this deer did that, and also there was a little bit of discoloration right here on the end of that main beam. But I'll probably do another video on touch-up stuff like that. But what she's typically doing now is she's using this is like a brush-on antler paint, and I don't know if we got it from McKenzie Taxidermy Supply or maybe Matuska Taxidermy Supply, one of those places. And it's just I mean, you literally can like dip your fingertip in water and then dip it in that paint and kind of mix it up and then just put it on there. And there's like 5-6 different colors, you know, depending on what you're needing. All right, y'all. Well, I hope this video helps y'all. I hope it motivates y'all to try a new procedure, new method. If you know, I think I said it earlier in the video, but if I had the means to do so, I would macerate every head that we do. It is a far superior to any other method, in my opinion. And like I showed y'all earlier, this little forky that we've had up here since it is August, and we've had that deer since October is when we did it. And I did a similar method on that one. Just put it in my maceration tank with some other young deer, and as you can tell, it is there's no grease seeping out anywhere, and it's still white as the day we whitened it. So it's a good method to try, and very hands off. If you just want to set it and forget it, that's a good way to do it. I've got another one out there I'm macerating. Did the same process as this one. Put it in a bucket like 3 days ago, and I just checked it, and it's already pretty much ready to go into a boiling pot. So, all right, y'all. If y'all like this video, comment below. Let us know. We appreciate y'all. Appreciate helping. And if you got any questions for us, hit us up on Facebook. We have a couple Facebook pages, one for our taxidermy business, then we have another one that's kind of documents our family, and some taxidermy too, a little bit of everything. So y'all go check those out, and I think there'll be a link in the description for those. And if you got any questions there, just leave us a message or something, and we'll try our best to answer. We get a lot of questions during deer season. Don't always have time to answer them during deer season, but off season we're a little bit better to respond. So thank y'all for watching. We'll see y'all again.